Hello, this is Ben119 and welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing something extremely different and I'm reacting to the old 120 star world record. So this record was set by Elmo 9 years ago and the time he got was a 1:49.49 and he played on N64 and on the Japanese version. And I just thought I'd talk about the world record. I've watched it once before a few months ago, but I don't remember everything that went on in here, so I'm just going to rewatch it and just talk about it on my opinion and how certain stars have changed over time in 120 star and things that are really cool about this run and how it just shaped the game and the community, because it's a really monumental run for its time. Even now, it's faster than my PB. My PB is a 1:54, so it's 5 minutes faster than my PB, which is insane because this was done 9 years ago. So obviously he does Lakitu skip, and now Lakitu skip has been known about since like the beginning of Mario 64, so he does that. But we're going to see a different route to the main 120 star world record now. So the world record at the time of recording is a 1:38.28 by Simply, and I'm not sure if you're familiar, but most runners now, top runners, go for Dark World first by doing LBLJ. But he does the Dragon route, and Dragon route basically does 3 stars in Bomb Battlefield, so he's going to do the Chain Jump Star now. I presume he does Bomb Clip. Yep, Bomb Clip was known about. Okay, that wasn't quite as advanced as the way people do it now. A lot of people hold like down right to go left with the bomb, and then they clip through the gate in front of the star. That's still pretty cool. But basically, you do 3 in Bomb Battlefield, you do Cool Mountain, then you do Dark World, then you do a slide. No, you don't do a slide, you do Gyro Bay, then you do slide, then you do Wing Cap, then you do Bomb Battlefield, then you do Vanish Cap, then you do Big Boo Hunt, Ducks, then you do all of Basement, and then you do Womps, and then when you go upstairs, the route's a little bit different there. So it's a completely different route to now, because now they do Basement quite early on to get it out the way, but Basement's done really late. And yeah, I liked those wall kicks. I just saw those wall kicks, and it's pretty much the same as the way runners do it now. It's a tiny bit slower, the movement to it, but it was really impressive to watch still. I like how he's got a timer in the bottom left. It's really nice. He's got a little timer. I like how he's not using milliseconds, because milliseconds just get a bit annoying to look at after a while, because you don't really need it anyway. But yeah, there you go, he's got 2 stars. It's actually the same route as I do. I do the Dragon route as well when I do 120 runs. And I think he does the Koopa race the same way as runners do it now, where you go to the top and then open the cannon. I think the reason why this saves so much time is because you are opening the cannon while Koopa is still moving, so you're having 2 things happen at once, so that's better than having 1 thing at once. And it's just quicker than just opening the cannon on its own, because you need the cannon open for the 100 coin. So let's just watch here. I think runners might do a dive rollout there. Not right there where he did it, but after doing that slope jump, you'd normally do a dive rollout, but I guess that wasn't really used back then. 19.4, that's a pretty impressive time. I think my best is like a 19.0, but that's still pretty insane. Here you go, he's going to talk to the bomb, open the cannon. He is on the Japanese version, like I said, and I think text does scroll a bit faster in the Japanese version. So he has got an advantage there, and when Peach reads out the letter at the start, she reads it she doesn't read the letter, so that cutscene's a little bit faster. Okay, he's going back to the cannon. I won't talk like this for every star. I'll just mention some key things and changes with certain stars. So far the stars are pretty much the same, apart from the star order. I like how he's just doing this in front of Koopa. Now, I'm not sure if you know, but recently Simply did something similar to what I'm doing right now, and he reacted to the world record, this world record, but he put a highlight thing on his channel where he showed highlights of the best moments, but I just want to talk a bit about the whole run. So there you go, he's got 3 in Bomb Battlefield, so he's going to go to Cool Mountain now, which is what I do, and what some runners still do. I know Siglemic used to do this route as well. It's pretty interesting how a lot of old runners used to do this route and how it's changed. I think the new route's barely faster. I don't think the route and the star order in 120 matters as much as 70 star or 16 star, for example. I think with 120 you should just go with what you're comfortable with. Okay, so he's doing slide. So I presume slide's the same. Yep, slide is pretty much the same. He dives down to the bottom. I presume he's going to do the moonwalk at the bottom. That'd actually be really impressive if he does. Yeah, he does. I'm not sure if that was by accident or whether he planned to do that, but that's impressive that was known about 9 years ago. Because remember, this is 9 years old. Oh, he did a wall kick there. That's interesting. I don't think that's faster. That wall kick there, I think he's just showing off a little bit. But that wall kick doesn't save any time. If anything, it probably loses time. Interesting. Interesting choice he went for there. Oh yeah, later on you may notice that some of the 100 coin routes are different. I'm not going to spoil right now which ones are different, but when we get to them, I'll definitely talk about them and what I think of the routes. Okay, he's doing 100 coin. So this looks the same to me. Yeah, he's not going for safety red, which is interesting. Alright, so he can't miss. He can only miss one coin, or he's not going to get the star and he'll lose the run. But obviously he doesn't die. I don't think he dies a single time in this run, which is really impressive as well. I've seen this run, like I was saying before, and I do remember some parts of it, especially the start, but there are some parts later on where I don't remember whether he gets certain jumps. I don't fully remember all the strats he does. I don't remember all the movement. But towards the start, I do remember it quite well. Okay, there we go. He misses a coin there. That's quite a sensible coin to miss, actually. Because if you miss one of the ones near the end, it's quite easy to not get any of the other stars. I mean, coins. Okay, he's going to go back and get the star. Whoa, he got a lot of lag there. He is playing on SM64, so he is going to be getting lag. If you play on Virtual Console, you get no lag whatsoever. And if you play on emulator, you get a lot less lag. Okay, there we go. He gets the star. Slide kicks to it. It's weird because when I was younger as a kid, I didn't even know you could slide kick in this game. It's only until I learned to speedrun this game that I learned that you could slide kick. It's pretty cool. Okay, he's going to go back in, obviously, because he's doing every star. That's what everyone does. You do every star in this level, then you go out. It's 120. Let's see this Reds route. This looks pretty much the same as the regular Reds route that people do now. Okay, I like that belly slide. I like how that was known about. It's really insane to watch this movement. Okay, long jumps, dive. Gets the 5th coin. Yeah, this looks fine. This looks the same as how I'd expect it to look. Very nice. He's going to jump down. There we go. Gets the coin. Jumps down here. Gets this coin. And there you go. That was pretty cool. The red coin star is exactly the same. I know some top runners, they go for the coin he got 6th, they get that one 5th, and then they long jump back to the main part and then go around the corner to get that one 6th. It's weird to understand what I'm saying there, but they do 2 coins in a slightly different order, but apart from that, it's exactly the same. Baby Penguin. Baby Penguin's been the same for years. This star has not changed whatsoever. I don't think it ever will. It's just going to be sliding down that slope. The only way you could save time is by obviously cutting the corners as tight as possible. But apart from that, I can't see any other routes being faster for that. There is a beginner route where you can jump off to the left, which is less risky, which I just came up with before. But that's not fast, by the way. Okay, if I remember right, he does the Snowman's Head star now. And the Snowman's Head star is another star that you can't really speed up because you have to wait for the snowman head to get to the body. So this would be interesting to see how he does it. He just talks to it and just goes down. A bit of a boring star. This star won't ever get faster, I don't think. Oh, okay. He's doing some showing off stuff. So you do have time to wait for the snowman's head. So he's just running around the mountain while he's waiting. A little bit risky because if he falls, then he's going to lose the run. I don't usually do that because I don't know, I've done it before just for a laugh and I've not failed, but if you do fail that movement you could lose time or you could even die, and I wouldn't want to have to die on a star that easy. Like, it's a free star, I wouldn't want to die. So last star he's got left is wall kicks will work, and if I remember right, he doesn't do the expert way because I'm not sure if the expert way was even known about the backflip method, but this is the same method as I do it. He does this. This is the way I do it still. There we go. What is his CCM time? 10:01. I think that was either a 10 or a 10:01. That's really impressive, almost sub 10. I think my best CCM time is like 10:04 with this route, so I'm pretty close to this world record at this point. So it's not too different to what I would do in runs, and it's probably not too different to what a lot of other people would do in runs at this point. So that's pretty cool. I think nowadays a lot of runners could probably get like sub 10. A lot of the new runners, like world record holders. Okay, let's watch this Dark World. That's interesting. He waits for the flame. So I presume he's going to be getting normal cycle, not Shigeru cycle, because he didn't get the switch through the flame. I kind of don't blame him. That might not have been known about back then. It might have only been known about for ILs. I gotta admit, even now, that can be a bit annoying, and I still sometimes get burned trying to get the switch. But this is looking, yeah, this is normal cycle. That's pretty cool. So he's going to get it now. There we go. So I'm not sure if you know, but in this level, there's lots of different cycles. There is normal, there's like slow cycle, normal cycle, which is what you got, the Shigeru cycle, which is the standard for me and top runners, because it's still like a hard cycle to get, and then there's Tsukishima cycle, and Tsukishima cycle is like an IL cycle that IL runners usually go for. I know some 16-star runners and 70-star runners have started going for it in runs, but it is insanely hard, and I think it only saves between 2 and 4 seconds, and that's if it's done extremely well. And in order to get it, you have to pretty much play perfectly, and if you miss anything, or even if you have like dust on a rollout, you might not get it. That's how insanely hard it is. But there you go, he went for normal cycle. I don't blame him, like I was saying. Normal cycle and Shigeru cycle like the standard. Okay, that's pretty interesting. In the Japanese version, if you go into like that camera mode, you can make Mario do a dab. It's pretty cool. He's just showing off his game knowledge, I think. But there you go, he's finished Dark World, so yeah, he goes to Joyride Bay now. This is pretty standard. I know some people may be watching this thinking, what the hell is this route? This route is really weird, but I'm used to this because I do the same 120 route, so this is normal to me. Okay, he's going to do Aquarium. Aquarium, I'm not going to say anything about it, apart from the fact that he's going clockwise around the aquarium rather than anti-clockwise. I'm not sure why, both sides seem to be the same. I think it's just preference really, which way you want to swim around. But Aquarium, the only way you can really save time in Aquarium is by having perfect swimming, which you probably have already, and just by cutting corners. Other than that, there's nothing else you can do. The coin order is always going to be the same, I think. Just cut the corners as close as you can and just do the best swimming you can and reduce lag when you can, and you should be fine. This is kind of turning into a tutorial. By the way, I am thinking very early next year, January or February 2021, I may be making a 120-star beginner tutorial in the style of my 70-star tutorial. And in that tutorial, I will talk more about each star in detail and how to do it. I have no idea what the final time will be. It'll probably be just over 2 hours or just under 2 hours. So you have that to look forward to next year. Okay, so he's doing the lag reduction strat there with the camera. That's interesting. If I remember right, he doesn't go for ship clip because I'm not sure if ship clip was even known about back then, but if you're familiar with ship clip, you can clip into the ship and skip having to lure this eel out. It saves a little bit of time. I'm not sure, I think it's like 5 to 10 seconds. And if you can do it consistently, obviously go for it, but this isn't even that much slower, and it wasn't known about, so I can't say anything about him not going for it. I know at the time this was actually a pretty big world record, because I think the world record before this was a 150-40 something. So he beat the world record by almost a minute. I think he had the world record before it as well. There we go. Oh wow, that's really cool. I didn't know he did that. That's crazy. So he basically swam onto that slope there and he slid down and ground pounded under the box as the water was still going down. That's pretty hard to do. I'm surprised that was known about back then. Wow. Okay, so what star is he going to go for now? I have no idea. Okay, I think he's doing reds. Yeah, so this is another route that is different. So back then, now what we do with 100 coin, we do red coins and 100 coin, and it is actually faster. But back then, they actually did the 100 coin star with the cave star, which is really interesting to know. And I find that interesting because it actually kind of makes sense. Like if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because you don't have to leave the cave again. Because in the 100 coin route we do now, we go in the cave and then we go back out and go all the way back to the ship area. So it does kind of make sense. I think the cave route with 100, where you get the star in the cave, I don't think it's even that much slower. I think it's only like 5 seconds slower than the red coin route, which is really weird to think. But red coins are done on their own. It's quite interesting. You don't usually see this anymore done on its own. Oh, okay. He's getting a lot of lag there. He probably thinks he's reducing lag by going in Mario Cam, but he's actually probably getting more lag. Yeah. You want to be holding like C right there, I think. C left to reduce the lag from the ship. Oh well, lag reduction probably wasn't as known about back then, so I don't blame him. And nowadays, people prioritize lag reduction almost too much, which is quite interesting to me. I do care about lag reduction, I do certain lag reduction, but I don't care about losing like a few frames here and there. I don't know why, I prioritize movement over lag reduction. Okay, so he's going to do 100 coin now, that makes sense. I thought he was going to do 100 soon. He's already opened the cannon. Yeah, he opened the cannon. So the thing is with this level, it's only got 104 coins. So it does make sense to do it with red coins because you're going to be getting pretty much every red coin anyway. So I presume he's going to go to the ship and he's going to get 1 from the ship. And then he's going to go into the cave from there. Oh, he doesn't get the red coin on the spike. Okay. So he gets all the red coins on the ship. That's interesting. He needs to get all these coins as well. He needs to get the Gumbas as well in the cave. Usually you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't kill the Gumbas because they're slow. Okay, he's lag reducing there. Alright, that's pretty cool. So he's got 6 out of the 8 red coins because red coins add 2 to your total instead of 1. So yeah, he's able to miss 2 like I was saying. So he gets this ring of coins. I can see this being around the same speed, to be honest. Like, I know it's slower, but it's not that much slower, to be fair. The 100 coin star itself is faster because you're not pairing it with reds, but reds is slower on its own than cave. So it's kind of like, if you look at both of them, there's good things and bad things. And the bad thing about this, which I noticed, is the RNG with these Gumbas, because they can be anywhere. And I think he got quite bad RNG here. Yeah, the Gumbas are really spread out. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So I presume he's going to go over here and get the 100 coin star. There we go. And he's just got 3 stars left in this level, which is the eel, the cannon, and the jet stream. So there we go. That was a pretty cool dive. So I presumed he held Z on that slope so he could do an instant dive. Oh, a little bit of trouble running around to that chest. I like how he shows off, like he's doing that dive, that wall kick dive, and he probably lost like a few frames to that. Because what you'd normally do is just ground pound the star to land on the floor faster, because when you're in a ground pounding state you fall to the ground faster after getting a star. So diving on it is probably slower, but he just shows off. I appreciate all the showing off he does. I think some runners nowadays take the game too seriously, which is fine. But I think you do have to have fun, obviously, because it's a game at the end of the day, and yeah, you just want to have fun with it. You don't want to have to like be just serious about it all the time and think, oh, I'm not doing this because it's 1 frame slower, this is slower, this is faster, you have to do it this way. I preferred it kind of when runners just did their own thing and just did cool little movement like that. It's just quite funny to me, because I don't really see runners do that nowadays, because runners just care about speed rather cool strats. Maybe I'll start doing that. Maybe I'll start just doing cool strats in levels from now on that lose time. I'd like to do a run at one day, like maybe a 70-star run, but instead of doing fast strats, just do cool strats. I know the run would be really slow, but it'd be pretty cool to see. But there you go, he got the jet stream star. That's been known about for ages, and if you swim at full speed into the jet stream, you can get the star without having to use the metal cap. The casual way of doing that is by getting the metal cap and by sinking into the water to get the star. But you don't need the metal cap if you do it that way. And last star is the eel star, so he is kind of lag reducing because he's not facing the ship. So lag reduction must have been known about, like I was saying back then. Okay, lures the eel. I wonder how he goes about doing this. He's got a weird camera. Okay, the camera's fine now. Okay, so he goes quite low down. I know a lot of runners start a bit higher up, and that's so you can get more swim speed from coming down. But there you go, just over 20 minutes. 2020. You can get a sub 20 Joy Roger Bay, but he didn't. That's fine though. He played really well though. I'm not sure if you could get a sub 20 with the 100 coin route he did, but my best Joy Roger Bay, I'm not even sure. I'm not even going to compare to his run because that's not the main focus of this video. So the route now is he does a slide, and then he does wing cap and then bob on battlefield. Now, if you're wondering about the other slide, he does that like an hour later. So when he does Womp's Fortress, he does the other slide and then goes upstairs. And that seems super weird to lots of people, but to me that's normal because I do this route as well. And it's because getting to the slide from Womp's Fortress is actually faster than going from wing cap to slide. And it makes more sense to do it later as well because you can't just put off an easy star, which is kind of good because the more stuff you do earlier on, say if you do loads of easy stages early on, and then later on you leave a really hard stage, then if you need to reset, you'll be further into the run. That's the main reason why most runners do Womp's Fortress first in runs. Not because getting to Womp's Fortress is faster, it's just because Womp's Fortress is very reset heavy because of Owlless, Cannonless, and the harder 100 coin route. All three of those stars are really hard to do consistently, and runners reset a lot to them, so they end up having to reset. And if you did Womp's Fortress an hour in, like he does, and something goes wrong, then you're going to lose a lot of time later on. But I don't mind doing that because it kind of gets more runs going in a way. Because if you do Womp's Fortress early on and you have to keep resetting, then you're not going to get many attempts in, and you might just spend all day resetting in Womps. I know I've done that before. It's really annoying. But he's doing 100 coin first. This is interesting. He's doing pretty much the same 100 coin route. He's getting a few extra coins here and there, which is normal, cause that's probably the way they used to do it back then. I still get a few extra coins here and there because I don't trust myself with the sky coins. But that's fine. I noticed on wing cap, I'm not sure if you're paying attention, but he did the text box skip, and that's pretty cool to know that that was known about. It's surprising how all these things were actually known about 9 years ago. Because at first I thought 9 years ago people were barely running this game, but people were really good at this game 9 years ago. It's really crazy. I wonder how long he's been playing before doing this run. I bet he's been playing, I don't know, like 2-3 years. I've been playing since 2017. But I've been extremely on and off with this game, and I've only taken it seriously a few times. And after like I get a certain time, I usually move on to another game or just do something else, and then I come back to it when I feel like it. I've never just stuck with this game for like a year straight. I feel like I never could. But when I just go between games, I feel like I do better and I enjoy it more. Okay, so he's done well out the sky there. He didn't get an extra wing cap, which is quite risky. I usually get an extra wing cap there in case mine runs out when I'm in the air. But it shouldn't be running out. I bet if I didn't get a new wing cap, my wing cap would still be fine. But I just still worry. Okay, that was pretty cool. He got the coin and then threw the box. That was pretty nice. Okay, he's going to run around the pole. I think he can skip a pole because he got the extra coins from the box. That's why he did it. So he's having to run around 3 poles and not 4, which is interesting. Because if you're having to run around 4, obviously that takes a lot longer to do. So we go. Alright, so he spawned the star. You can actually do a thing called double star spawn there. I'm not 100% sure on how it works, but if you get a red coin and then you instantly get another coin after, then it spawns both stars at the same time, which saves time obviously because you have to watch 2 individual cutscenes. But there you go, he got 100 with reds. That's still the same. At first I thought there's maybe a chance he'd do it with secrets in the sky, but I think that'd just be silly because then you have to do reds on its own. Okay, so I presume he's going to do sky jump here for these 2 stars. Sky jump was known about back then. I'm not sure what the 70 star record was at this point in time, 9 years ago. I'll have to look that up. I'm pretty sure it was like a 51 or a 50. It might have been sub 50, but I'm not sure. I can't see it being sub 50 at this point. Okay. Oh, he missed one of the coins. Okay, so I think he went too low there. The setup back then probably wasn't as precise. They probably didn't have a precise setup like we do now, but if you aim at a certain spot on that coin there, you can get all 5 in a row if you hold a certain direction. And it's pretty simple to do. He just missed that by a little bit. I've done that before in the past. It's nothing to be ashamed of. He is a better runner than me, to be fair. He's 5 minutes faster than me. So it's as if I'm just talking down to him, but really he's better than me, so I can't say too much. I will comment on things though still. I'll be fair. This is all really good though. This is like my run on a really good pace. If I did like a perfect run up to this point, I'd probably be around about the time he's at now. So that's completely fine. Okay, he's gonna get the box star. Very normal. I'm so used to doing that because I run 70 star. But there we go. Okay, that's Bob on Battlefield done. Sub 26, pretty cool, pretty good bob time, I think. So now he's gonna head to Vanish Cap, and you actually go to Vanish Cap a different way, because in the regular route you finish Lethal Lava Land, you get the second rabbit, and then you go to Vanish Cap, and that's quite interesting because you don't usually see what he's about to do now. So if you just watch for a minute. There you go. So he kicks up that slope there. It's quite interesting, because you're not supposed to go up that slope, because it's supposed to be like a one-way thing, but he ends up kicking up it. You can actually long jump up it, you can dive up it. It can be a bit finicky for beginners, but once you get used to it, and once you get used to the physics of kicking on slopes, then you should be completely fine with it. There we go. He's gonna do Vanish Cap now, I presume. You can tell with movement that the movement is still really good. The movement's still really good to watch, but it's not quite to the point where runners are now, and that's obviously just because runners now put in a lot more time. They're used to getting dustless dives and everything. But yeah, that's quite interesting. He just jumps straight down. That's what I do as well. I know a lot of runners now, they usually like go on that slope and like do like a jump dive and clip thing. It's really weird to get a bit more distance, and they get a different cycle. Oh, okay, that's interesting. He did a triple jump there. I was expecting him just to wait on the cycle. That's nice. Oh, and he goes for Siglemic and gets it. Wow. Okay. So that strat there is called Siglemic, and basically you can skip the text box of that switch by triple jumping off the switch, wall kicking, and then diving into the star, but it's quite a hard wall kick dive, because if you land on the ledge above, then you will get the text box, so it doesn't save anything then. But they go straight to Big Boo Hunt. The name comes from, I think it's AGDQ, when Siglemic got it, and someone like said it's Siglemic, and they called it Siglemic from there. Actually, no, it isn't. It's from when Cosmo Wright did a 120 star run, and he shouted Siglemic after getting that. That's where it comes from. Sorry, my knowledge. Okay, so he's in Ghost Hunt Star. Very normal. I'm pretty sure they do counterclockwise route now. Top runners with the Ghost Hunt Star. This is pretty normal though. Like this is the route I usually do. I can imagine a lot of runners still do it this way, because I find it easier to do it this way for some reason. I think it's because in this room here, going from the door on the other side to the other balcony is a lot harder in my opinion, and I seem to sometimes fall down into the merry-go-round area when that happens. Okay, having a little trouble with that boo there, but that's fine. Okay, he's gonna go through here, and the big boo is gonna spawn. Okay, he does the slide kick method, and ground pound, and ground pound. Okay, so he's killed the boo, and I presume he's gonna wall kick here to get up to the star. There we go. But Big Boo Hunt, this level will probably have quite a few changes. I know the 100 coin star is different with this run than it is now, but I think some stars just may have some changes with movement and things. That boo kill looks different to what runners do now. I'm pretty sure runners dive into the boo now because it's faster. But yeah, he doesn't turn his camera at the start there. If you turn your camera, you can reduce a bit of lag, but I don't think that was really known about or cared about back then. Okay, this is the 100 coin route, by the way, and he's doing 100 coins with merry-go-round, and that is fine, and that is what I usually do. And a lot of runners now do 100 coin with red coins because red coins is a slower star on its own. I think it's fast. Well, it must be faster, obviously, but this isn't much. This is not much slower, to be fair. And it probably theorized back then that red coins would be faster. I like that Mario Cam movement he did there. He went into Mario Cam, going towards the door, nice and smooth. And basically, you get some of the blue coins from the ghosts, like he's doing. You get this blue coin twitch, and you get the books, and then you go down into the merry-go-round. And it'll give you enough coins because you get 25 coins in the merry-go-round, and I think that's why they thought to do it, because you'd be getting all the coins in the merry-go-round, so it makes sense to do 100 coin. But merry-go-round on its own is a faster star than red coins, so I think that's another reason why it's done. Okay, nice, you didn't land in the water there. That's still something I struggle to do. But if you jump down and kick at a precise point, you don't land in the water. So he's killing these ghosts. Does he know? Yeah, okay. Or maybe he doesn't know. But if you look into that painting, as you're killing that boo, the big boo spawns straight away. I have no idea why. He just does. You'd think it would be the opposite way around, because when you look at the ghosts head on, they disappear until you look away. So I thought that makes no sense, but oh well. There you go. He gets the merry-go-round star. And what's he got left? He's got a bookcase star, he's got reds on its own, a boo painting, and the roof star left to do. I have no idea which order he does them in. It doesn't matter what order you do them in Big Boo Hunt, as long as you do the Ghost Hunt first. Because once you've done Ghost Hunt, you can do any other star from there. Because merry-go-round spawns in after Ghost Hunt, which is really weird. Okay, he's doing red coins on its own. This is pretty cool. If you've never seen this, enjoy watching this route. If you've never seen reds on its own, I'm very familiar with this though because I do reds on its own in 120. There you go. I like that coffin movement there. It's really interesting. You just run around, both of them lift up, you get both the reds, and you run back out. Okay, wall kicks down, goes through the door, goes in this door. Okay, so okay, I think he messed up that a little bit. Yeah. What you're supposed to do there is you're supposed to do a side flip and then triple jump towards the coins. And then you're supposed to go out this door like he did. Oh, okay, interesting. He did the wall kick there. Where the piano was. To get the coin without taking damage. Nice. Okay, so he's got 3 stars left. I just keep trying to guess which star is he going for next, because all runners, they all have like a preference on which stars they do in what order. Even though the order doesn't really matter in most stages, I always do these stars in a certain order in this level, but I never really think about it, I just do it. It's just weird how we get into those habits of doing them in a certain order even though it doesn't matter. So I presume he's doing the visible cap. Yep, of course he is. So this star's not changed. I'm pretty sure the movement is exactly the same as he's doing it now. He's going to long jump, and then he's going to run around the eye. Yep, very good. Very nice. He ground pounds. Is he going to get on the star? Yep. Cool. So this run is pretty good so far. He's not died. He's not really had any major mistakes. There's been a few small things here and there, but that's just going to happen with any runner of any skill level. You see like top runners now and they make those kind of mistakes still. It's quite common, to be honest. It's very, very rare that someone will have a very perfect run, unless it's like 16 star, and even then there'll still be some mistakes in the world record. In 120 star, I know in Simply's world record, I think he fell off the submarine in Dada Docks 100. That's quite a notable mistake. But to be fair, the rest of his run was so good that it didn't matter. He still got world record because of how good the rest of his run was. But that was like a 20-second mistake, and it's still world record. So it shows that this game can still be pushed quite far. And that was a pretty cool boo kill. I wasn't expecting to see the roof kill in 149. That's quite interesting that it was known about then. I know that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that, oh, this is interesting. This was done 9 years ago. But that is really how I'm thinking. I didn't know this game was so advanced 9 years ago. Yeah, it is. It is advanced. And it's only going to get more advanced. Oh yeah, he's gonna do this star here. Is he gonna get a sub 35? Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, he got 34.57. Alright, that's cool. So he got sub 35 Big Blue Hunt. So apparently sub 35 Big Blue Hunt is 149 pace if you run this route. Not really, because I usually get like a low 35 and my PB is a 154. So I think when people compare certain times to certain splits, it's like, oh, this is this pace, this is that pace. I don't think they understand that you have to play the same skill level in the other splits as well. Because the weird thing is about my 70-star PB is the fact that I have a 51 and I didn't even get a sub 19 shift in Sandland. I got like a 19 something in shift in Sandland and I still got a 51. And I know a lot of 51 runners have like an 1820 or an 1830 shift in Sandland. So they probably have a lower 51 than me, but that means that I can play really well in upstairs and tippy and make the time back, which is quite interesting. So he must have like a really good other part of the run. But this 100's looking really good. Well, I know that his upstairs time is 110, so he has a 39-minute upstairs time. If you know what upstairs time, if you're not familiar with upstairs time, it's the time you touch the upstairs door, because all the routes that are done in 120 always meet up in the upstairs, and you'll always have 74 stars when you touch the upstairs door. So it'll always be the same, basically, is what I'm saying. So it's quite a common time to see where you're at, and the time he gets, I think he gets a low 110, which is interesting. So that means his upstairs must have been like 39 minutes, which is a really, really good upstairs. Okay, so he's doing 100. Whoa, okay. I didn't know about that. Well, I did know about that, but that's crazy, because the world record holder now doesn't even do that. That's insane that he actually goes for that triple jump. Oh, and he does those wall kicks. What? That's crazy. I know that there's another strat that's actually faster than those wall kicks, where you jump kick the coin and you then wall kick off the other wall. And he does this. I knew about this. But all those strats that he did there are all harder. That first one is actually faster. And he got them all first try. That's crazy. Especially the submarine one, especially the triple jump on the submarine, where he triple jumped off that tiny little bit to get those coins. And the wall kicks. Those wall kicks are precise. You have to do like quite a few in a row. And you have to hit a certain angle. If you get that slightly off, you're falling in the water. I'm sorry, but you are. And the long jump, the angle on that long jump is really precise as well. What a lot of runners do now is they triple jump to it, because apparently it's easier, even though I used to have issues with it, but I can do it fine now. When I say that, I'd probably go back to it and I'll probably mess it up in a run and get annoyed. But that's really interesting to see that 100, because the start of the 100 is pretty much the same, but that whole submarine section actually looks harder than the way people do it now, which is really cool, actually. Okay, this chest star is exactly the same. I'm not really going to comment on this. I doubt this star will ever get faster. It'll just get faster swimming. But yeah, really enjoying the run so far. I'm enjoying watching it back again. Really interesting to see how he approaches each star. Oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to talk about. I'm talking about this 40 minutes in. I could have mentioned this on the first star, but he doesn't do don't save and continue. Basically, what a lot of runners do now is they don't save the game and they continue. They go down to the bottom option, and it's because I think it saves between 4 and 8 frames. And obviously, if you do that on every single star, that'll save like 20 seconds. But that wasn't known about back then, so he just saved and continued. And I see a lot of people, and they tell beginner runners to do no save and continue, and I disagree with that, because if you hit save and quit, you will then be kicked out of the game, and you will lose more time. And it won't even be worth going for. Plus, if you're slow at menuing, then it doesn't even save time. If anything, you're losing time each time you press no save and continue. But if you are like a really competitive runner and you're going for world record on SM64, then yes, you should learn it. But when you're starting out, even in your first year of playing, don't even bother. because it's not worth it at all. It's just something else to add to the run that can go wrong, and you already have enough to learn when you start this game, because there's a lot to learn. But that submarine was pretty much the same. I wonder what cycle he's going to get on Fire Sea. This looks like fast cycle pace, doesn't look like lava boost pace though. Oh, this is different. Okay. This movement is different. Whoa. So he's going to get this coin now. That's really cool. I actually knew about that movement before. I kind of pretended to be surprised there. But I've seen that before. I forgot whether it was in this run or another old run that I saw recently. And that looks a lot harder as well. Like, I'm seeing all these strats that are like the same speed or even slower, and they're a lot harder than strats done now. I've messed around with that, and that wall kick is quite precise. Because if you miss the wall kick, you fall down without getting the coin, and even if you hit the wall kick, there's a good chance you might not get enough height. And you might not even grab the coin from it, so it seems really risky, but that was a really good fast cycle actually. That wasn't lava boost cycle, but there's different cycles on this level. There's a lava boost, which you have to play pretty much perfectly to get. There's fast cycle, which is the cycle you just got. And then there's like regular cycle, which is just regular cycle. But I think there's like a 10-second difference between each one. And it's to do with those moving platforms on the second floor of the level. I think of it as like floor 1, floor 2, and floor 3. But the moving platforms that take you up to floor 3, that's the cycle that I'm on about. Okay, I know what he did there. That's quite well known about. So if you punch Bowser's tail before it's grabbable, and then you turn around and face him and punch, you're able to grab him from the front. And I think that is a little bit slower, but you do grab him closer to the bomb, so you can throw him to the bomb easier. I like how Mario's just looking straight up as he's grabbing that star. Congratulations. Saves. Okay, so he's going to do the rest of Dada Docks. I'm glad he does this, because this is faster because of lag. If you do all of Dada Docks before Fire Sea, then you'll get the lag from the submarine. So he does Fire Sea on purpose to get rid of the submarine, and then he does the other stars in Dada Docks, which is good. And actually, at first, I didn't even know that doing Fire Sea got rid of the submarine. I thought doing the submarine star actually got rid of the submarine. But once you do Fire Sea, the submarine disappears, and poles spawn in. And the poles, you can use them to get the red coins, and that's the intended way to do 100 coins and red coins in that level. Fun fact. So he's got 2 stars left. He's got the Jetstream star, and he's got the Invisible Cap Cage star. Now the Jetstream star, you're supposed to use the metal cap for that star as well, but he doesn't. And that's another star that's been well known about. It's slightly harder to do than the one in Jolly Roger Bay, but I've not had any issues with it. And I don't think he has any issues with it in this run, because you have to swim a bit more perfect to get the star, because I feel like the Jetstream is stronger than the other Jetstream and it goes up higher. And you have to get these rings, okay. So he's got all 5 rings. But the star is also lower down in the Jetstream, so you have to swim like really good at the star. You have to have a really good angle going into it. There you go. So all he's got left is the cage star. So I presume he's going to get 44 Dada Docks, which is pretty good. A really good pace actually, 44. So he's going to jump back in, and he's just going to do the swimming again. I'm not going to talk much about the swimming. Like, all you can do really with the swimming is just swim as tight as you can. That's the main way of just saving time on swimming. There's not much else you can do about it. Just enjoy the run, guys. I'll talk again in a minute. Right, I'm kind of back now. I just needed a minute just to get my breath back, because I've been talking quite fast for like 45 minutes. But there we go, he's got the vanish cap. I like that strat that he does there. I actually do that. And it's where you like jump to activate the vanish cap, you wall kick and you dive into it. It's a pretty cool way of getting it. It's better than just ground pounding the box. It looks really stylish and cool. It's another thing that just makes the run cool. And that's kind of what you need. If you're going to be running this game a lot, you need stuff that you want to just keep doing. But there you go, he's got the Mipster, and he'll come back for second Mips in a bit when he does Hazymate's Cave. So Hazymate's Cave is, I think some of the strats will be different to what you're used to seeing now. Obviously just Toads first. I'm pretty sure doing Toad on the way out is faster, but I've not seen any evidence of that, and I always get Toad first. And he's gonna go in. I presume he's gonna do 100 first. Now, I do remember the 100 route. Okay, he's not gonna do 100. I'll talk about it when he does. But I don't think we'll see triple box jump during this. I think he's gonna use elevator clip or the side flip method. Okay, side flip method. That's like the intermediate way of doing it. The beginner way is elevator clip, intermediate is doing that, and expert is box jump. Box jump is fastest, but if you fail it once or twice, it's slower. Okay, so he's gonna enter the metal cap. I presume he's gonna do the metal cap without getting the switch. If you're fast enough on this star, you can get all the red coins and get the star without the metal cap wearing off that you start with. You don't have to be insanely fast, but if you do make any movement mistakes or you fall in, then you're definitely not gonna get it. See there, the metal cap has started blinking, and once it runs out, you'll have to get another one or just get the star. That's if you've missed any red coins. There you go. The reason why you skip metal cap is because it's actually not even needed during this run. Because every star that requires the metal cap, you're able to get it without the metal cap. Like those swimming stars, you're able to just swim through those jet streams without the metal cap. There's a star that you're supposed to do with the metal cap in this level that you can do without, which I'll talk about when we get to it. But now he's doing 100 coins, so I'm going to talk about 100 coin. So this start is exactly the same from what I can see here. Okay, so he's going to wait on this elevator. Alright, that's cool how that was known about, waiting on the elevator. To be fair, that's not too hard to do. I need to learn that. I did learn it at one point and I kind of just didn't do it. But he waits on the elevator right here. If you're used to seeing modern runs, this looks really slow. Because what you do now is you'd long jump from that box and get the other coin and do like weird slide trick. But he's jumping down like this and he's getting an extra coin from that bat there. Right, he's going to go up. Oh yeah, this eyeball here. So he's actually not going to do the backwards long jump route in Hazymate's Cave 100. He's actually going to do the cave route. Because the cave route is actually easier. It's not much slower. But the BLJ route is actually, I don't think it was even known about at this point, but it's really difficult. What you have to do is you have to go on a certain elevator, triple jump through a ceiling, and as soon as you finish the triple jump, you have to turn around, line up in like half a second, and start long jumping. And as soon as you land on the elevator that's heading up, you have to mash like crazy. And if you get enough backwards long jumps, you can clip through the cage and get to the ring of coins on the other side. And it's slightly faster than doing this route, but if you fail it once, it's slower. I've always done the backwards long jump route because running around that eyeball is a pain. And I always seem to get hit. And I hate that eyeball. But this is the same so far, other than getting the eyeball and the fact that he's not going to do the backwards long jump. So it's this room here where you'd normally do it. But the 100 coin star still doesn't use the dance mat thing in the main room. Usually you'd use like kind of like elevator thing with arrows to control it, but he doesn't seem to use that. Okay, so he's going to get this sniff it and get this one. Pretty cool. I like that backward side flip there. Get it up there. So I think he has two. No, he has a coin and a spider, right? Yeah. Oh, that was stylish, that wall kick dive. And there you go, he gets to the star. That's really cool. I really like that route. For beginners, I would recommend beginners doing that route. It is a really good route. The only thing that's not beginner friendly in my opinion in that route is the eyeball. If you do want to see a beginner route for this star, I have done a series on my channel doing all the 100 coin stars for beginners. So I basically run through each 100 coin star and I do it the beginner way. And if you have any questions, just go on the video that you have questions about and write a comment and I will reply. But there you go, he's done 100, like I was saying. Pretty fast. That was really fast actually for a 100 back then. Even now, that's a pretty good 100 time. Okay, oh, okay. That was known about. I'm surprised. I've seen some runners now not even getting that. That's actually really hard to do. I've done that a few times. I go for it, but if you don't get it, you usually land on the platform next to you. It's quite safe to go for. But it basically skips having to go through the door and go down the elevator. But there you go, he basically does a triple jump wall jump there to get through the floor and get to that star quicker. Oh, that's a little optimization you can do. It's riskier than side flipping. You can just side flip, dive to the star once you get to the top. But obviously triple jumping gets you more height, so it's faster. He's gonna go this way. Okay, he's gonna do this strat here. Messes up a little bit. Okay, he messed up his angle there. That's a really sensible decision. Going for a completely different star because he messed up the angle. To be fair, if that was me, I'm not sure if I'd do that now, but if that was me like 2 years ago, I would have just gone for the star anyway. I probably would have missed the angle, probably would have fallen down, probably would have got annoyed. Like, it was really sensible just going for a different star rather than attempting the triple jump, because he could have realigned and got it still, but he just didn't think it was worth risking, I don't think. I think he's probably going to go for it now and get it, knowing him, because he's a legend. Okay, he's doing it this way. He's not risking it. That's really safe. So he thought that he could miss it again, so he went the safe way. That's interesting. What you could do there is you can land on the platform that has the heart on it, and you can triple jump from there and land on the ledge that you got to by long jumping. It's a little bit faster than going up there and long jumping, but it is harder because you have to do a triple jump dive to it. And triple jumps are harder to do, obviously, especially on slopes, because that slope can be a bit weird. Okay, gonna do the side flip method again to get to the star. Lands on the island, gets the star, very nice. So the only one he's got left is the one that usually uses the metal cap. If you've seen him run of this game before, he does a trick, and there's a strat to it called Christmas Miracle. And what it is, it's when you land on the switch from the triple jump and the switch activates. Because it doesn't always activate, but if you get enough height from the triple jump and you land on the switch in a certain way, it always activates. So if we see if he gets it, so that looks good, that looks really good. Dives. Okay, he gets it, nice. I was expecting him to get it, to be honest. It's not that hard to get. But the reason why it was actually called Christmas Miracle is because back in the old days of Mario 64 speedrunning, like now, if you got it, it was considered a Christmas Miracle because people didn't know how it worked, but it's to do with how much height you get from the triple jump. But back then, people just called it a Christmas Miracle because they didn't understand how it worked, and if you got it, it was a Christmas Miracle. If you do miss it, you can jump kick off the fence behind you and land on the switch from higher up and still activate it just fine, so you don't have to go all the way up there if you miss it. Okay, so he gets MIPS. That's a really sensible way of getting the second MIPS, luring him to Shifting Sandland. That's another reason why I like this route, because the MIPS grabs are pretty good. And he's grabbed MIPS. He grabs MIPS. He goes into the painting with MIPS. That is very unnecessary and loses like a second, but it looks really cool, so I'm not going to blame him. I like seeing cool things like that. I could never imagine anyone doing that now. I couldn't imagine anyone doing it now and getting away with it without being told off. Okay, Bird Star. To be fair, I'm not surprised that the Bird Star's done like that, because every other star's got pretty much the same strats as now. There's obviously strats that he's not done, that runners do now, like Lava Boost Cycle in Fire Sea. Mostly the strats he hasn't done are things that are cycle based. Okay, 100 coin. Now this is an interesting 100 coin because he does it with the same star as normal, but he does a different route. He does the shell route because there's two routes. There's the wing cap route and the shell route. And the shell route is slower. I think it's because it's RNG based and the shell can be slow in places. But it's a really cool route, and I started learning the shell route because I was considering doing it in future, but I found the start here with RNG to be a bit too luck based to consider it. It was fun, I enjoyed learning the shell route, but I'm going to stick to the wing cap route. I do really appreciate this route though, and if anyone still does it in runs, I have mad respect for them, because it's really cool looking. So basically what you do is you activate these pillars with the shell. You get some coins in the start like that you wouldn't normally get. You get this Shy Guy. You basically get the 4 pillars and you basically kill everything with your shell. It looks really cool. You get this red coin, you kill this thing, you get the coin from it. He's just like mad. It's really fast, the shell. It looks faster because he's just running around everywhere with the shell, rather than just flying with the wing cap. But it's a lot more shell based, that star. It's not really that. There is movement, obviously, there's a lot of movement still with the pyramid, but most of the movement is on the shell. A bit like Lethal Lava Land 100. So he still does this. He gets the coins from here, gets the secrets, very nice. Okay, pretty safe strats right there, that's fine. Okay, so he's gonna get these coins here, very stylish like that, getting the 2 up there, then getting the 2 down there on the way down. And if you're wondering why he stopped there, he didn't just stop for no reason. It's because on the Japanese version, there's a thing that can happen called sound glitch, and basically what sound glitch is, I'm not even sure how it works because I don't have the Japanese version, but apparently if you hold a certain direction there, or you press a certain button while collecting that secret, all the music in the game can stop, and after you collect a star, the game crashes. I've never had that happen because I don't play on Japanese version, but if you do play on Japanese version, be careful of sound glitch, because I know it can happen in Wet Dry World as well, for example, with the secrets in that stage. So yeah, just be careful when doing that. I'd definitely do a little bit of research on sound glitch before doing runs if you play on Japanese. But yeah, getting to the star, pretty much the same as what runners do now. Obviously, runners now use wing cap instead of shell, but they do the same, like they go on the pillars and everything. So that's pretty cool to know. So he's gonna go back in. So red coins, I don't know when he's gonna do red coins. Is he gonna do it now? No. Okay, he's gonna do pyramid now. No pillarless. You may have just noticed that, no pillarless. I don't think pillarless was used back then. It may have been known about, but I don't think people dared to do it in runs because of how difficult it is. Pillarless is extremely difficult, even today. I still think pillarless is really hard. And I promise I will start doing it in 70 now. I'll start doing pillarless next time I do 70. Because it does save time. I need to start doing pillarless. But in 120 I'm good for not doing pillarless, because if I fail it I'll feel bad. But there you go, gets the star, uses the shell, pretty standard shell route. So he's got 3 different stars he could go for, and I know why he doesn't do the top of the pyramid. And it's because if you do top of the pyramid first, it spawns in tornadoes. I'm not sure if that was known about back then, it might just be a coincidence with his star order. But that's another reason. Okay, dives back, don't blame him, that's what I do. That's just slightly slower diving back, because obviously you're taking more time to go backwards rather than spending your time going up the slope. But that's fine. So this is the same red coin route that I do actually. You go on top of this pillar here, you get these 2 coins. You go in the lake, get that coin, you get the other 2 in the air, and then you get the 1 in the ruins, and then you get the 1 in the box. A pretty standard route, pretty cool route. I know now the red coin route is really weird and really difficult. If you want to see a really good video on the red coin route in Shifting Sandland, then watch Simply's video. Simply's done a really good video explaining the history of this star. And it is a really hard star to do perfectly with the new route. I actually disagree. A lot of people say it's the hardest star. I don't think it's the hardest star in my opinion. I think it is a very hard star though. But I just don't think it's the hardest. There's some stars out there that I think are even harder. There you go, very clean reds. Very nice. Very cool. I assume he's going to go back in. Well, obviously he's going to go back in. He's got 2 stars left. He's not going to go to Lethal Lava Land now, is he? Okay, so he's going over here, and he's going to go into the pyramid now. So I think what runners started doing is when pillarless is found, they do pillarless, and they jump down from the top into that hole. But what runners do now, what runners did then, is they do this really weird triple jump to get onto the this part here, and then they jump down to the hole, which is what I do. It's a really weird triple jump to learn. If you're new to this game, it is extremely difficult to get, because you have to have a really weird angle with Mario Cam, and the triple jump has to be quite high. If you get thirsty, it ruins it. So there's a lot that can go wrong, but it's still faster than using the shell. So I would recommend learning it. It does take a lot of practice and getting used to, but it's worth doing. But what a lot of runners do now is they do a strat called topless, and they basically dive towards where that hole is, and they do a wall kick from the sand, and they barely grab the ledge where the hole is, and then they slide into where the iRock fight is. Pretty cool to watch. Definitely recommend looking it up. Just watch a top runner. Just watch Simply's world record, and it's in that. So final star is the Pyramid Star. So sub 1 Shifting Sandland, impressive. So he gets to the end of Shifting Sandland in under an hour. So he's now synced with his star count and his timer count. The thing I like about this route, I kind of like it and I kind of don't, is the fact that your star count and your timer don't sync up near the start, especially if you're just like a sub 2 runner. If you just got under sub 2, your star count will probably be behind your timer. Then once you get to Lethal Lava Land and Womp's Fortress, your star count should be faster than the timer. And that's because a lot of the stages you do earlier on are slow stages, like Dire Docks, Jolly Roger Bay, Big Boo Hunt, for example. All fairly slow stages that give you only a few stars. And you do Fire Sea, which is a 2-minute level where you get 1 star. So that's another reason why. But from now, you'll start to see that his star count gets way ahead. Because you may be wondering, like, watching this run, if you've never really watched a run, how is this a 1:49 pace? Because he's got 60 stars now. Is he actually going to get 60 stars in 50 minutes? But that's the way this game works. All other stages aren't equal length. Like, some stages, like 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and then you've got stages like TikTok Clock that are 4 minutes. I know for top runners, it's like 3 minutes 45, which is crazy to think. But you got levels like Womp's Fortress, Snowman's Land, Lethal Lava Land, that are all really fast stages, and you got some slow stages like Rainbow Ride, Big Boo Hunt, Jolly Roger Bay, for example, that are like really slow. And you still get the same amount of stars in the levels. It doesn't mean that the level has more stars. It's just interesting fact. Okay, so those stars there were pretty much the same as the way runners do it now. I'm talking more about the history of the game and things now, rather than certain stars. A lot of the stars are the same. This triple jump's cool. I'm not surprised at that, to be honest. It's cool how someone must have thought about that. Someone must have thought, oh, they're giving us a wing cap. There's a platform that's raised. Let's jump over the fence rather than using a log. But yeah, that's cool. So he's going to re-enter. And the 100 coin star is always done, I think, last or second to last. And that's because the shell doesn't spawn in until then. Okay, reds is cool. That's the beginner route now of doing reds. That's the way I still do reds. Pretty cool route. What people do now is they long jump towards where the wing cap platform is, and they dive towards the puzzle to get the red coins because it saves a little bit of time. But it's really hard to do because if you mess it up, and you burn your bum and you lose time. It's not worth it unless you're going for a good time. Yep, 100 coins now. Alright, so this shell route is, I think it's pretty much the same. You might get extra coins here and there, which is to be expected. Okay, this is slightly different. He gets the puzzle, then he goes and gets these ones. I think that's because, yeah, so these coins spawn in the middle. Because when the puzzle solves itself, 5 coins spawn in the middle. And then you obviously get 5 extra coins. So it's kind of worth doing if you're a beginner, or if you were doing the old route. A lot of the routes that he's doing now and a lot of the strats that he does, I pretty much do all of the stuff he does. I didn't do any of the stuff he does in Dire Docks because that's ridiculous, but the route he does for most 100 coin stars, apart from the ones that have changed now, like I do a lot of the same star routes as he does. So it's quite interesting watching this because it kind of reminds me of my own runs and the way I play, rather than watching a world record, even though the gameplay is way better than me. And yeah, he's way more consistent than me. Hey, that's a pretty good 100. I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to have a quick drink. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was just having a quick drink of water because I've been talking for a while. I still got to talk for like 45 more minutes. But oh well, I can do it. I want to talk about this. So we are way over halfway through the run, which is weird to think. 120 goes really fast, actually. Especially, I don't know why this route goes really fast when I watch runs of this route, or if I play 120 star. Around 120 star used to feel like forever when I used to do it. But now when I do 120 or watch 120, it goes really fast. It's surprising how fast it goes. Okay, that long jump is really, really cool, actually. Well, that long jump isn't really done anymore, because people do usually do a dive rollout over to where the star is. Okay, slide kicks into lethal lava land. I just noticed that. Okay, he's exiting out because he's done everything in basement, and now he's going to do womps. Really weird routing choice, whoever came up with this route. What I would actually consider doing now, if I was doing Dragon route, I would do Womps Fortress after Dark World. You know when they usually Jolly Roger Bay, I'd do Womps Fortress then, and then I'd do Jolly Roger Bay instead of Womps now. That's just so that I can get to this point faster, and I get to basement faster, and I wouldn't have to worry about getting like cannonless. Because I've had a run with this route where I've been on like 111 upstairs pace, and I've failed cannonless like 3 times, and it really annoyed me. So going for cannonless, especially back then, they didn't even have a setup for cannonless. The old way of doing cannonless was just weird. It's really strict and punishing. I don't get why anyone even went for cannonless back then, because there was no setup. You literally just blindly go for it, and if you get it, you get it. If you miss it, you got one backup, and then after that backup, your run's dead. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But this 100 route's really interesting. He went for the ring of coins near the start, and then he got that cycle. Now, usually that would be considered slow cycle, but the fact that he got that ring of coins at the start, I'm not sure what cycle you call that, but it's definitely not slow cycle because he does a lot more stuff before getting to the cycle. But if you didn't get that ring of coins and then you got to the cycle, it would be like the regular cycle or slow cycle. The 100 coin route now is completely different, and there's like half cycle and everything. We have to watch runs of that. Modern runs to see how 100 coins have changed. There you go. Pretty cool 100 route for its time. So what's he gonna do now? I'm just watching, thinking what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna go for cannonless. Yep. Okay, so the old way of doing cannonless is you literally just blindly go for it like that. So if you don't know, now there's a setup. But you literally just jump off and hope you get it, and he got it second try, which is crazy. The first time he failed it, he actually ledge grabbed, so he didn't even fall down. I can imagine that being so annoying. I don't get why they did that. You could just open the cannon. Imagine being at this point on this pace and failing. Imagine how that would feel, failing cannonless and losing like a minute to it. Like, you'd just be annoyed. You wouldn't want to carry on. While blue's not changed much, you usually do the slide kick, I think, on the other side of the pole. Well, I usually do it that way. If I've been doing it wrong, then that's my fault, but yeah, that's the way I do that. Okay, so he's gonna go for probably tower, not tower. Womp. I'm not sure if he does Owless. I'm interested to see Owless. I bet Owless was known about back then, but it just wasn't done. Now Owless doesn't save much. I don't blame him for not going for it. It saves like 2 to 4 seconds. That's if you get it first try. And the only reason why it saves time, I think it skips like the owl text box or something. It just skips having to use the owl, and it's slightly faster if you have good movement, but it's hard to do. I wouldn't say it's hard. It's not a hard strat, but I certainly wouldn't want to go for it at this point. Like in 70 star, you do want to save all the time you can, and especially in 16 star, because time is very precious. I feel like with 120 star, it's more of like a marathon. You want to prioritize consistent strats and good movement and good gameplay, because it's almost 2 hours long. You just want to do what's most consistent. You want to do what you're good at. With 70 star, you can go all out. With 16 star, you just go for all the hardest strats. If you fail, it doesn't matter. You just reset. You'll probably only be 10 minutes in. With 120, like, you just want to go for what you're comfortable with, especially at this point in the run. Early on, you can maybe go for dangerous stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you're a world record contender, then you got to do what you can, I guess, to get world record, because it's optimized as hell. Okay, so the owl. Yeah, this is very standard, just using the owl, like normal. The casual strats from the world record holder. So I guess, so if you're wondering why he's missing a star, it's a slide. Like I was mentioning earlier on, he's going to do a slide now. And you'll understand what I mean now, that doing a slide now is faster. So as you can see, going to slide from here is faster than going to slide from wing gap. You could just tell from the amount of time it took then. I think he left the box slide. So we go. Doing a slide an hour and 9 minutes in. Nowadays that'd be unheard of, but back then that was just the standard. That was what people were used to. That's what people do. What's this slide time? I'm gonna guess 12.8. 13.0. Okay. It's good to get slide times. If you've ever watched an Awesome Games Done Quick run or any kind of marathon run, people try and guess the time that people get on the slide. It's just fun because people usually get between like 12.5 and like 13 point something. It's just fun to guess. It's like a little game you can do, and it's nice to see like your actual time. So you go a 1:10.06 up. That's really impressive. That is 1:49 pace. Most people who get 1:49s usually have like a 1:10, 1:09, 1:08 up. But all you need is really like a 1:10. I don't know, if you had a 1:11 up, I'm not sure if you'd get a 1:49. You could, technically, if you were really good upstairs, but your middle floor would have to be like probably the same standard. Okay, so he's doing, this is really different. Two things. He's doing Tiny Huge Island first in upstairs, which is really weird. And this 100 coin route is different. Now he's doing it with the same star, he's doing it with red coins. I've tried this 100 coin route a few times before, not in runs, but just in practice, just to see what it'd be like. And it's not actually that bad, it's pretty cool actually. It skips having to do all the stupid movement in the tiny island. And it skips having to kill like Lakitu near before you go in the cave, but you basically enter the huge island, and you run around the island, you kill pretty much all the Goombas, and you just get all the coins. It's nice, you get to see a lot of the level that you wouldn't normally see. Like, you don't usually see this section over here. You don't normally do this section here, because you never really needed to. But you kill the Goombas, you jump across here, you get these coins. Now if you ground pound Goombas, you do get a blue coin. If you miss a ground pound on any of these Goombas, then you have to go out your way to get more coins. If you do not have enough coins by this point, you can go around and get the Koopa or the Lakitu. That Goomba there can be really weird with the slope. He got quite lucky there. And this triple jump is really weird to get, but he was completely fine. So he's going to get this coin here. Long jump, get these coins, and go through this cave here. So that is this route here. I was about to say this route is the same, but it's not. He gets this first. No idea why. That's just the way it was done back then. It looks really scary going for that dive, to be honest. I guess it skips having to go back up there now. But yeah, that's cool. He gets the star now. So, my opinion on that route, I might do it, but I don't really see the point, because the route I do now, the normal route, is faster. But it is a cool route. It's really cool that they did it like that back then. I'm not sure why they changed it, but I have to actually go on Discord and see if anyone knows that. But there you go. He goes in the tiny one for all the rest of them, because before you would never go in the huge island. You'd always go in tiny island like he does here. I'm pretty sure he does Tall Mountain next, and then Snowman's Land, then Wet Dry World. So he basically just does Wet Dry World last instead of first. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe they thought it was faster doing it last. Or maybe it's just preference. I have no clue. But secrets, that's cool. There is an easier route to do secrets. I'm not sure if it's known about back then. Where you do the secrets in a completely different order. The movement's easier. I featured it in my 70-star beginner tutorial. But that's cool, that route. Usually they clip up into the mountain there, but he triple jumped instead. I'm wondering if I'm going to see a Wiggler clip in this run. I don't remember if he does Wiggler clip or not. It could be this star. He might be going for it on this star. He could be going for box though. Okay. Okay, he does do it. Whoa, what the hell was that? Okay, so he had a really weird angle there. I know what happened. He aimed towards the right, and he almost voided out because he went down so low. But if you have a weird angle there, you can almost die, but you basically land in the out of bounds water and swim to the loading zone. It skips having to ground pound the top on the tiny world and change. Trick wise, it's not a hard trick. I wouldn't say it's easy though. You can't just do it. You can't just go for it and get it. You will have to practice it quite a bit in order to get consistent with it. Definitely worth learning though. If you're aiming for sub 2 in 120 star and you don't already do it, definitely do it. It saves like 10 seconds, I think. It's a nice little time save just to know, to be honest. Yeah, Wiggler is pretty much the same. I've not really talked about the boss fights because the boss fights are pretty much the same. I think the only way they've got faster is just like literal frames saved here and there. A piranha plant star. This is going to be interesting. This route's different. Okay, so he gets the piranhas in a different order. The piranha order, I'm not sure if it matters too much, but the piranha order now is different to this. That's cool. Okay, he gets the star, he remembers where the star spawns. So he's got the game knowledge, he's probably done loads of runs. I'd like to see how many runs he's done before this, or how many hours he's put into this game. He seems to be a really good player. Especially going for those things in Dada Docks. It might have just been the standard though back then, and people thought they had to do that. But some of his movement and gameplay looks really, really good. I'd like to see him come back now. I think he has done some runs after this. I think his PB, I'm not certain, but I think his PB is a 146, which is really a respectable time in 120. Even though the world record's 138, I think any time under sub 2 I'd say is respectable in 120. But yeah, okay, so we got that star. There is a slightly faster way of getting that now, where you can clip up into the mountain and then long jump to it, but it barely saves anything, and only top runners do it. And I presume he's going with Cooper Race. A lot of runners do Cooper Race last in this level. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter. As long as you do the first 2 stars for Cooper Race, star order doesn't matter too much in this level. So here we go. He's going to speak to Cooper. And which route is he going to do? Okay. This is weird. I thought he was either going to do Shell or the regular route, but he goes this way. This is pretty cool. So he slides down the mountain, whee, and then lands on the flag. That's pretty cool. I quite like that route. That's slower than using the Shell though, so I wouldn't do it, but it's nice to know. I'd have to attempt that one day just for a bit of fun. But the Shell is faster because you get faster time, and the regular route is good because it's easy. That is a really weird route, but that's cool. Shout outs to whoever came up with that. Probably him. There we go. That is Tiny Huge Island done. I'm not sure how good of a pace this is just by looking at the timer, because runners don't usually do the levels in this order. But to me, this looks like 149 pace still. Well, obviously it's 149 pace. He gets a 149. What am I on about? Okay, so he goes in the breeze. I don't blame him for not doing breezeless, because breezeless is hard. Oh, he's doing 100 coin. I thought he was doing the slide star then. You know, you jump down into the gap with a slide. I thought he was actually doing that. Okay, he's doing 100 coin. Interesting. This is another route then that's different. So this is, yeah, he still does it with reds, I see. But he doesn't, usually go right at the start instead of left. But I presume he still gets the left coins. I mean the right coins, whatever. But that's interesting to see. So he's going this way now. He gets an extra coin from the Gumbo because he missed some on the monkey bars. Doesn't get the coins from above on the bridge. That must mean he gets like loads of coins on this slide. Because he might be missing coins if he doesn't do that. So this slide looks pretty much the same as how runners would do it now. This slide, learning this slide is quite hard, obviously. Once you understand how sliding physics work in this game, this star isn't very hard. He seems to get getting all the coins. I like the timer in the bottom. I know I mentioned the timer before, but I think it's really nice just having a little timer on a video that doesn't have any splits. Because I know a lot of runners now, they usually have face cam, splits, chat. That's like the standard. Well, because a lot of people stream their attempts. I'm not sure if this was streamed live though. He may have just recorded this run. But I like how there's a timer in the bottom, because I know a lot of runs, they don't even have a timer nowadays. I don't always put timers in my runs. I do in my 70 and 121s. In my 121s I actually put splits as well, but in my 70 runs I just put a timer in the bottom corner like that. I had to see what software he's using. I don't think it's Live Split. I'm not sure if Live Split was used back then. But it's a nice little timer, that. It's just better than just looking at nothing. I think sometimes with splits, I don't know, you don't always need to know whether they're ahead or behind. You can kind of tell with mistakes they make whether they'd save or lose time on a certain split. I presume on died at docks, he saved time on the 100 coin, because that 100 coin was insane. Okay, so that's a really interesting 100 route. I know I talked about it before, but I like how he did that. It's probably not much slower than what they do now. It's probably around the same speed. I don't know why it was done like that. I don't know why they changed it. They probably practiced both routes and saw the one they do now is faster. But he uses the Shy Guy to get up here. Okay, so he gets this star by triple jumping. That's standard. But a mountain clip, I didn't even mention mountain clip was known about back then. My god. Well, a lot of strats were known about back then. If you've watched Summoning Salt's 120 star world record progression, definitely watch that video if you're interested in speedrunning. It's one of the things that got me interested in Mario 64 speedrunning and speedrunning, because he basically goes over how the 120 star world record has progressed. And I think I saw Batora do this in his 152, and it's really interesting to see that mountain clip was known about all the way back then. It's really cool time saver. What a really cool trick. Wait, is he doing monkey glitch? No way. Monkey glitch was actually known about 9 years ago, really. Okay, that surprised me. That actually did surprise me. I was not expecting monkey glitch there. Jesus Christ, he got a lot of lag. He could have gone in Mario Cam there. He could have been nice. But that monkey glitch there, if you grab the monkey on the slope, and I'm not entirely sure how it works, so I don't do monkey glitch yet, but you can basically keep hold of the monkey and ground pound on that part of the slope, and the monkey basically gets closer to the star. You don't have to wait for him to run all the way to the star. It saves a little bit of time. It's definitely not worth learning straight away, but you should maybe learn it once you get good at Mario and you're looking for time saves to improve, because it's cool. I'm actually really surprised people knew how to do that back then and understood how it worked, because it's really weird how it works. And that is risky as hell. My god, I almost had a heart attack. But what a lot of runners do now with the waterfall star is you slide kick in from the right, or you can wall kick from underneath to get in. That is really scary, the way he just did that. Just long jump towards it, not caring about whether he hits the side or whether he doesn't get enough height, or whether he doesn't get enough, too much height. He just goes for it, gets it confidently. Yeah, pretty cool. It's hard to think of so many things to say about this run. I know I said my opinion before, but I'm going to say my opinion now again, but I'm really enjoying this run. It's really interesting to see how runs were back 9 years ago, the world record. Because if you're thinking about the world record 9 years ago, I honestly thought this wouldn't be as fast to watch as it is. I thought this was actually going to be a lot slower than it was. But it's actually still really fast. It's surprising to think that 11 minutes has been cut off this run. Because maybe you could think, oh yeah, maybe 4 minutes could be cut off. There is some mistakes here and there. Some stars could be faster, some stars could be better routed. But it's insane to think that 11 whole minutes has been cut off this route. Just think about that for a second. 11 minutes is a long time. I know it's a 2-hour category, but still. It's insane. Because I know with 70 star, a few minutes has been cut off, but that is a lot shorter of a run. And box jump was used. I didn't mention box jump, but I didn't think I needed to mention box jump. Cool that it's known about. That's all I can really say. Cool that it was known about back then. I'm just recycling my phrases. Okay, so this 100 coin route is... it's not a different route. It's very, very similar. He goes over here instead of using the slope. I presume runners didn't think to use the slope to get to the igloo. Probably because they thought it'd be too hard to do, or they thought... I don't know, they probably just didn't think of using the slope. But I understand that. I recommend any beginner do it that way as well. A nice slide kick there to take out the Shy Guy. I like that a lot. Oh, this is different, what you're about to see. I just remembered. He opens the cannon, and he uses the cannon for the snowman's head star. I don't know why. I don't think the method to get on his head was known about, or if it was probably really difficult to do back then for runners. So they probably just think, oh, I might as well open the cannon while I'm here and then use the cannon to get on the head. It makes sense. It does actually make sense. But the thing is, in 70 star, that wouldn't really be used. Maybe it was a 70 star exclusive strat, the someone's head thing that people do. Maybe 120 runners just didn't think about it because they never needed to. But yeah, this is exactly the same, doing the red coins now with 100 coin. It's really weird. I always thought that Igloo would be faster to root. If you think about it, if you go in the Igloo to finish the 100 coin star, you won't have to re-enter Igloo, because every star in this level is fast anyway, but you have to go in the Igloo twice, because you have to do it for 100 coin, then you have to do it for the Igloo star. I don't know, maybe if you could send a video, if anyone's listening, and prove that it would be slower, then I'd like to see it, because to me it sounds faster. I know it probably isn't, but it must be around the same speed. The outside movement would probably be cool to watch as well, because it'd be different. But it kind of makes sense, because obviously red coins, you get 16 coins from it. That's another reason why a lot of people do red coin stars with 100 coin stars, because a lot of the red coins in each level go out across a lot of the level. You have to travel across pretty much the whole level to get all 8 coins, and the coins obviously count for coins. So if you're doing 100 coins, the red coins can contribute towards it. So that's another reason why. Yeah, here we go. He uses the cannon. Good old beginner strats. I like seeing stuff like this. Here we go. Getting the star. You still have to learn the cannon shot, but I imagine that is way easier to learn than the snowman's head. I think maybe I should include that in my 120 beginner tutorial that I'm gonna make soon. I keep advertising my own content. I can't help it. Alright, so what star is he? Oh yeah, Igloo. Of course, he's gonna do Igloo now. I presume this looks the same as it is now. Let's just see. The movement might not be as fast. Let's just see. A little bit of a push on the wall there, but that's fine. Here we go. Gets the star. Very nice. So he's just got 3 stars left in this level. And I'm surprised. I honestly thought he made more mistakes. He did make a silly mistake in Total Mountain where he fell off. Well, he didn't fall off, but he fell off the monkey bars. He whacked his head on top. But I honestly thought there'd be more mistakes for a run this old. It's really crazy how... That's probably why this is such a popular run as well. It's the most popular Mario 64 run on YouTube. Probably because of the so little mistakes. It was the first sub 150, which is a huge barrier, obviously. Because I know when 139 happened, that was a gigantic barrier as well. That was popular. I don't think we'll ever get another 10-minute barrier. I know people probably thought this at 149, that people will never get 139. But there's no way anyone's going to get 129. 137, yeah, I think 137 will happen. Might even happen this year or next year. 136, maybe. I think the lowest 120 could go is like 135. I don't think it'll go any lower than that. 70 star, I think, I have no idea. Maybe low 46 one day. Maybe even a 45. New strats would have to be used, like single star strats. 16 star, I don't think 16 star is going to go any lower, like minute wise. 14 is the limit, to be fair. Maybe 1440 something. 0 and 1 star, I am sorry, but I don't care about 0 and 1 star. I've never completed a 0 or 1 star run. I've never been interested in learning SBLJ. I'm not sure what the world record actually is for 1 or 0 star. No disrespect to 0 star and 1 star runners, they're really crazy at the game still. It's just it doesn't interest me. I prefer watching 70 and 120 runs because you end up collecting loads of stars and it's fun because you collect loads of stars. 0 and 1 star basically skip the entire game. Okay, so he's going for, I presume, either reds or the vanish cap. In 70 star, you do 100 coin with secrets, and he does this in this run as well. Now, it is faster to do 100 coin with red coins because red coins is a slower star by itself. But I don't know. I don't do red coins with 100 coin. I think that's mainly because I'm a 70 runner. And 70 runners are used to doing 100 coins with secrets, and they're good at doing 100 coins with secrets. I could learn this. I should maybe learn this if I want to take 120 more seriously. If I'm going to go for sub 150 one day. Which, my ultimate goal for this game 120 star, my ultimate goal is actually to beat this run. It's a bit ambitious. I'm 5 minutes off it. But I think if I put in a lot of time and if I ever wanted to do that in the future, I feel like I could if I put in enough time and effort. But yeah, that's a long way down the road. I'm doing Pikmin content at the moment. I'm doing this as well. I'm gonna get back to doing Mario content at some point after this and the Pikmin stuff. But yeah, that's cool. He's gonna do 100 with secrets. He does red coins, blah blah blah. So he's gonna do the Vanish Cap Star now. I presume that's gonna be the same. I highly doubt it's gonna look any different to what it looks like now. Just gonna have a quick drink, be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, that was pretty much the same as the way people do it now. It's completely fine. So he's got loads of star stuff. Now Wet Dry World's actually a really fast stage. It's not super fast, but there's a lot of fast stars. Like a lot of the ones where you just jump in like this are really fast. I know there's in 70 star, 5 out of 7 of the stars are used in this level. And for good reason, it's because they're all fast. Even the 100 coin stars used. So yeah, this is 100 with secrets. So if you watch 70 run, you'll know what this is. I know what this is. I've seen this hundreds of times and done it hundreds of times. Here we go. Goes down here, gets the box, gets the secret, blah blah blah. Looks pretty much the same as how I do it, to be fair. Gets this secret, triple jumps up here. Triple jumps up here. Doesn't get he gets the ledge grab, he doesn't get ledge grab skip, that's fine. Gets the 4th secret, gets these coins. You can miss 1 coin in this route. If you miss any more, you have to get the backup box at the end. Interesting fact. Here we go. Gets the box. So with a lot of these stars, you want to jump in on a low water level or high water level. There's only one star you want to jump in on mid water level for, and that's the top of the town. Surprisingly, you think you want to jump in on top water level for that star because of the name of it, but no. You don't. There you go, gets a star, pretty good. So he's at 100 stars now, I just noticed. So he's got 20 left until he gets to 120, he's at 132. So I presume he's going to jump back in and get the last 3 stars now. So I'm going to guess. He does elevator now. Yep. What a guess. I have seen this run. I have no idea what the star order later on because I've only ever watched the end of the run like once. Okay. This is the same. I know there's a triple jump you can do now from that slope to up there, which is really, really difficult. I've never even done it in practice, even though I've never thought about learning it because of how hard it is. There you go. Wall kicks up to the star, pretty standard. Pretty standard stuff right there. Pretty used to seeing that. Yeah, like I was saying, a lot of these strats, I'm used to doing a lot of these strats because I do most of these strats. The reason why I'm slower is my movement's not quite as good. My consistency isn't as good as his. He's probably put more time in than me. I'm not as into 120 as I am. I've not put most of my focus into 120. When I play this game, I usually put all my focus into 70 star. I don't usually bother with 120. But yeah, maybe one day I'll take 120 more seriously than 70. But I'd have to get a really comfortable time. To be fair, I've already got a really comfortable time. I'm really happy with 51 in 70. Because for a while I was really annoyed because I had a 52 and I couldn't prove it because I didn't record it when I did it, and then I ended up getting a 51, so I was more than happy with that. And yeah, I'm not going to do 70 for a while. I'd like to improve my 120 PB when I get back into this game. Maybe get like a 152, 151, maybe push 70 after that, and then go for 149. That's my plans with this game, probably. But there you go, it's finished Wet Dry World. So the route... Sorry about that, my microphone just cut out there for a minute. But basically what I was saying is at this point in the run, the routes kind of catch up to each other. And at this point, entering Tippy, you should be on 103 stars. So that's what I was trying to say. I don't know why my microphone just cut out, it's a bit annoying. That long jump is pretty crazy. I don't get why he did that. I think that's even slower because he ended up getting stuck in the cloud. But The time he ended up having touching the tippy door, I think, was a high 133, which is 149 pace, which is really cool. So I think what runners get now is a 123 even. I think the world record, Simply's world record, I think he gets a low 124 or a high 123. So his tippy is a minute faster. Simply's, this is a minute slower than world record's tippy now. So he must have a really good tippy. He doesn't die at all. I know this run's actually completely deathless, which is crazy to think. 120 is really difficult. A deathless 120 is crazy. Even now, I think one of the recent world records that Cheese had actually had a death in it. I've never done a deathless 120 star run. Even my PB that was a 154, I had one death in it. And I did have quite a few stupid mistakes, but I only had one death, which I was really proud of. But deathless 120, I'm not sure if the world record before this had a death. I've not seen it. I don't plan on watching it, sorry. But that's crazy to me. And that's a pretty good cloud stage. Cloud stage changed a little bit since, but pretty much the same as usual. So now he's just got the two hardest stages left. TikTok Clock and Rainbow Ride. And I'm looking forward to seeing these two levels because TikTok Clock has got some really crazy strats now. So he's doing 100 first, getting out of the way like runners do. I don't blame you for that, mate. Getting the 6th coin. Getting safety red. Safety red's completely just good for TikTok Clock, because if you miss any of these coins in the boxes, then you don't know what you do for coins. You just have to look elsewhere for coins, because if any of the coins fall down, you gotta go to like a certain box to get 3 coins, and it's hard to get back up, and you run the risk of falling down and losing all your momentum. But if you get that extra red coin, you see these boxes here that have 10 coins each in them, you can afford to miss 1 or even 2, and you'll still get 100. But if you don't get safety red, obviously getting no safety red's faster, obviously, because you don't get another red coin, but it is really risky. 70 star runners, top 70 star runners, definitely. Top 120 star runners, I don't know. Whatever you feel like doing. I always go for safety red. I feel like I always will. Hey, that was a really smooth 100 coin, though. Look at those wall kicks. That was really fancy. I really like that. I've seen that before. I've not seen that before. I see runners do that now. That's a really fancy way of getting up. I thought he was going to land on the conveyor belt then jump off the Thwomp's head. Okay. I presume he's doing red coins or roll into the cage. No, time jumps on moving bars, actually, yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure in this level he does all of the stars on stop time. Because I know what people do now is you go in on fast time, you triple jump up the moving platforms, and then you go from there, basically. That's what I actually do now. Now I took 70 star more seriously. I taught myself that trick. I needed to learn that to save time. But back then they didn't do that. They just stopped time for every star, which is fair enough. That's the most beginner way you can do it, to be fair. And probably back then. Wait, does he do that? Okay, he does do that. Sorry about that. I was just saying that they didn't do that. Okay, I swear he doesn't do it for the other stars, though. Maybe I'm thinking of another run that I saw, but he did it for that star. That's interesting. It's really hard, that triple jump, learning it. Once you've learned it, though, it's not too bad. Like, you can usually get it consistently, but learning it originally is really hard to get down. So this is what he does instead. This is still pretty fast. So he jumps in on 12 and he climbs up like that. That's really safe, actually. I actually featured that in my beginner example run for 70 star. I think if you're a beginner, you should definitely do that instead of going around, because you have to worry about falling down. And if you do fall down, you don't usually die. So it's safer. Okay, I like how he's just single jumping up to the clock. He's not side flipping. He's not messing around with that. So I presume he's doing the, what's it called, star. I forget all the star names. I know the stars. I can describe them. I just forget the names sometimes. If you mentioned the star name, I could probably tell which star it is. Fun fact, 2 of the stars in this game have the exact same name. In Georgia Bay, the Jetstream star is called Through the Jetstream, And the one in Dada Docks is actually called that as well. So 2 of the stars are the same name, fun fact. There you go. Going to take the clock one more time. He's going to get red coins. There is an insane strat that people do now. I know D whatever does it. I think Cheese might be learning it. It's called moving reds. And what it is, it's when you get the red coins while the clock is moving, and it saves like 3 seconds. It's absolutely crazy to watch. I know Siglemic did it as one of his GDQ runs. And it's basically just showing off. But it's scary to think that the new world record now is already finished. A minute and a half ago, the world record would have finished. And he's still got Rainbow Ride to do. Like, this is a really fast run. He's 10 minutes away from finishing. So, Tippy's in the exact same order. He does Cloud, TikTok, Rainbow Ride, Sky. He doesn't do Rainbow Ride. You could do Rainbow Ride, TikTok, Cloud Stage, and Sky, maybe. I don't think that would be any faster or slower. It's probably the same speed, to be fair. Okay, so going for 100 coin, I think. Unless he's doing Swinging in the Breeze. Okay, he's doing 100 coin first. 100 coin route, exactly the same, pretty much. Plays it a bit safer by going for these coins instead of the ones on the swing. Oh, he does do these ones as well, okay. That's nice to know. I thought he was going over there instead of going up there, but he does both. That's interesting. Extra coins, I guess. Extra safety. Because if you get 15 coins and you miss any coins, then you gotta kill Bob-ombs or go out your way for other coins. And as you can see there, he actually lost a coin, I think, from the Lakitu. It's a good job he got those extra 5. Okay, going up the red coin maze, getting the red coins. So you actually don't pair it with red coins in this star because it'd be a bit stupid. You actually pair it with the carpet star because the carpet ride takes ages. And it just makes sense to get 100 coins while you're doing that. Go, gets these coins because you got weight on the carpet anyway, so it just makes the most sense because you wouldn't be doing anything at this point anyway unless you did carpetless. But carpetless is pretty much impossible, and I can't see it ever being done in runs. Interesting. He does those wall kicks. I've never really attempted that. I just do what you normally do to get to the cruiser by just wall jumping up and then long jump into the carpet. That's interesting though, doing those jumps. Those wall kicks. I'm just going to be quiet for this. There you go, that was really cool. I like how he just does that with the camera. It's really interesting, this run, like I was saying. I've been really enjoying rewatching this run. And it's just really cool to see all the stuff he's doing. I can definitely see why this run was so popular now. And I can see why, like I was saying, I just repeated myself. But he's got a really good gameplay. For its time, this run is absolutely insane. Even now, this run is insane. The strats he used in this run for 149 is insane. I love all the silly stuff he does, like going into shifting sandline with MIPS or doing random wall kick dives into stars, syncing the camera to the music on the carpet. I like all the stupid stuff he does. It doesn't really lose any time. It's really cool how he's just adding his own stuff to it. That's what I think speedrunning's about. It's about being creative as well. Just adding your own style to it. That wall kick there used to scare me. Before I ran 120, I used to hate watching people do that wall kick because I thought if you miss, you're dead. But it doesn't work that way. If you miss that wall kick, you land back on the carpet. So you basically lose no time to missing the wall kick. So it's actually not even scary. It just looks it. And another interesting fact about this. No Lakitu bounce. I know he's not doing Lakitu bounce now, he's doing red coins, but he doesn't do Lakitu bounce during Rainbow Ride. And this is either because Lakitu bounce wasn't known about, which is, I think that's probably why. I'm going to presume Lakitu bounce wasn't used back then, because it's probably considered too hard or it wasn't known about. Or it could be because he's on 149 pace and he doesn't want to mess up Lakitu bounce and kill his run. Now personally, I know how to do Lakitu bounce because I'm a 70 runner, and Lakitu bounce saves a lot of time in 70 star. So it's kind of a thing you need to learn if you want to get a good time. And it's just a really cool time save, and it's used twice in 120 star. However, if you do miss Lakitu bounce, you could back it up with red coins or tricky triangles, or even swinging in the breeze if you're that desperate for a star. But it's one of those strats that you can know exactly how it works and how to do it. Like, I know exactly how it works and how to do it, and you can still mess it up. I can imagine on this kind of pace, the pressure is just absolutely like enormous. I've been on PB pace runs and I know what the pressure feels like, and it doesn't even mean much because I'm not even a world record contender. But imagine having like the world record at like 150 and you're going for 149, and you have to do Lakitu bounce, and if you miss it, the run's dead. And imagine missing it, how bad it must feel. Like, you can't imagine how bad it would feel failing this late in. Like, I kind of know what it feels like. I've lost 3 70 star runs late on, like recently, that were 51 pace. 2 of them in TikTok clock, 1 of them in Sky, so that's painful. But 120 star, I've only ever lost 1 run late in 120 star, and that was in TikTok clock. And to be fair, the run I lost was kind of falling apart anyway, so I didn't care too much. But I've never lost a 120 star run, like proper PB pace, like this late. And it'd just be horrible. I see with the swinging in the breeze star, he did a different strat there. He did the triple jump strat to get to the star. And even though it's considered the more beginner option, I actually think it's harder because the triple jump is really weird. If you don't get it on the right angle, you die. Even if you get the triple jump, you still have to land on the ledge. I think if you just learn the swing strat, it'll obviously save you more time. And once you get it down, you can just keep getting it down like over and over. It's really simple once you get it down. And he's got 1 star left in Rainbow Ride. Really fast tippy. No deaths. Deathless run, like I was saying. All he's got left is the cannon star on the ship. No Lakitu bounce, obviously. Going to be climbing up this way. This is the second fastest way. But like I said, the strats used in this run are really impressive for 9 years ago. I'm so surprised at how much was known about back then. Like, seriously. Like, this is impressive, obviously. This is crazy, like, how they could get to the ship without the carpet. There we go, he's gonna use the cannon. I don't know when 120 star got, like, super optimized. Like, it's obviously optimized enough to be done in under 150, which is crazy. But 120 just started getting so optimized after this. Like, the world record kept going down and down. Then we got into the 140s, and now we're in 138. Oh, little bonk there. And now he's going for Sky. So I presume Sky Reds is going to look extremely similar to how it's done now. I can't wait to see it. I think on the final fight he hits all 3 throws. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure he hits all 3. Looking at the timer, he must hit all 3. So at this point as well, he kind of has to have a really good Sky and good throws in order to get a 149 as well. I feel like if I was on this kind of pace on my first 149 run, I would be so nervous. Like, if I was on a kind of pace where I was going to get a low 149 or even 148, I feel like the pressure would be like a lot less tense. But if I was on this kind of pace, right, even if I had a good Sky, I'd still barely get 149. It'd be crazy. I'd probably end up messing up in Sky. Ooh, that triple jump is really cool. Really cool. Usually what runners do there is you can side flip over that flame, or you can just get burned by the flame, or you can wait for the flame. I never seen anyone triple jump over the flame though. Really cool. Okay, this triple jump's pretty cool. Does the pole glitch thing to get on the pole. Gets the coin. Very fast movement. This is on N64 as well, so there's lag that's taken into account. It's not on Virtual Console, so this is real timing pretty much. Gets the coin down here. Are we gonna see a wall kick? Are we gonna see a wall kick dive? Nope. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, to be fair. Wall kick dive in there is barely faster, and if you fail the dive or the wall kick, you fall all the way down and die. So it's kind of not worth doing. But there you go, final fight. He must hit all 3 throws, looking at the timer. That's not really a spoiler if you know how pace works in this game. That's how it works. So let's see how he hits them. Okay, 3 spin throw. Pretty cool. You can, if you spin the control stick ridiculously, you can get like a throw out of like 1 or 2 spins or something like that. I don't really care about spin throws. I spin and throw. And there you go. That is history made. That was the first 149. You just watched all of the run, unless you just skip to the end, which I don't blame you, because you don't want to watch me ramble on about a run for an hour and 50 minutes. I really enjoyed talking about this run. It's really interesting watching this run again. I've always wanted to talk about this run. In this last section here, I'm going to actually wait until the video ends. Shout outs to Elmo, the runner, who got this time. I will link his channel in the description. He's really good. I think he's been doing some Breath of the Wild stuff recently, and he's got other Mario 64 content on there. Most of it's quite old though. But there you go, 149. You just watched the first 149, like I was saying. And if you watch 138 now, you can see the difference, but it's still insane watching this, because if you look at the time 149, you may just think, oh, this isn't that impressive, 149, but you actually watch it and it's still really insane now to watch, and it's still crazy. So there you go. So final opinion on the run, like I was saying, really good run, really enjoyed watching it. It's a really good route. I found some of the tricks and strats that he went for really interesting. Like the fact that he didn't go for Lakitu bounce, but he went for that crazy triple jump in Dadadox 100. He went for those crazy wall kicks in Dadadox 100. And he went for that long jump to the 8th red coin, which was all insane. Which I can't see any other runners even thinking of doing now. Some of the 100 coin routes were really interesting. I liked the Jolly Roger Bay 100 coin route. That was interesting to watch. The Tiny Huge Island, Tortle Mountain surprised me as well. I know some other ones I haven't really mentioned. Shifting Sandland was cool. I haven't really mentioned Big Boo Hunt because I'm so used to doing that myself. But yeah, if you're getting into 120, like I was saying, I have mentioned this twice already, but I will be making a 120 star tutorial early next year. Once I finished my Pikmin 3 Deluxe mission series and Side Story series. So if you are wanting to learn 120, then watch that. If you are interested in learning 70 star, watch my 70 star beginner tutorial. If you want to take 70 star more seriously, watch Blue Bob's tutorial. If you want to learn 16 star, I'm not sure who's made 16 star tutorials, but there should be plenty out there. I've not made any. I don't plan on making any because I personally don't care much about 16 star. But if you do want to get into 120 before I make mine, there is a runner who has made a 120 star tutorial. I did mention him on my... I forgot his name actually, I'm very sorry, but I think his name's Bebop Bandit, and he's done a 120 tutorial. And I mentioned it on my how to get into speedrunning video, how to get into speedrunning Mario 64, which I made a few months ago. Yeah, I love the credits in this game. I don't know why, but getting a PB, especially in 120, it's really satisfying just to sit there and watch the credits. It feels well deserved to watch the credits. I feel like when you just do a 70 run, it doesn't feel the same watching the credits, but after completing everything in the game and watching the credits, it just feels so good to watch the credits, because you feel like you just achieved your goal. I think with 120, getting into 120, I think you should have some 70 or 16 knowledge first, obviously. And I think you should be realistic, don't aim for like sub 2 straight away. Because sub 2 is actually quite hard. Even though it looks easy, so getting a sub 2 is still quite hard. Once you get sub 2, then obviously take it down a minute at a time. Don't be thinking like 150 straight from 2 hours. Like go 158, 157, 156. Just try and aim for like each minute barrier. Just think of each barrier as a challenge. Because it is really, like, you may be thinking that, oh, I can shave 5 minutes easily, but yeah, it's hard. 120 is really, really difficult. And even with 120, I think this run is actually better than like a 70 time. Like say if someone got like a 50 in 70 star, I still think this is more impressive than like a 50 in 70 star. Because 120 takes so much game knowledge, it takes a lot of endurance, I guess, a lot of stamina to run 120 at a high level. You have to practice all the stars, obviously, rather than just practicing a set like few stars that are fast. I don't know, I think it takes a lot more effort and time to get good at 120 than 70 star. That's just my opinion though. So obviously, by everything I'm saying, I do really like this run. It's interesting to see that some stars haven't really changed much, other than the fact that maybe tiny bits of movement have changed. Obviously, movement is more advanced now. New things have been found, new routes, new strats. Not many new strats, a lot of the strats are similar to what I've done now. The stage order is interesting. Dragon route is the route to go. That's the route I'm going to be showing off when I do my tutorial. That's the route I've always ran and always will run. I don't know, it's really cool. There you go. That is the entire video. So if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe if you're new around here. I really enjoyed making this. I'd like to do this kind of thing more often. And thank you so much for watching. And goodbye.